Okay, last video for the report, guys. We have to do our page numbers and we're going to insert an automatic table of contents and table of figures. Right. So before we insert a table of contents and a table of figures, just putting that in like this for now. Okay. We have to do our page numbers. Now for the page numbers, if you've used a cover page, the cover page should happen automatically, all good anyway, but I'll just help you check what it is. They've said here the page numbers appropriately used and correctly inserted. For example, no page number on the cover page, and page numbers of each annexure restarts at 1. Now, you need to please ask your teacher how they want this. Personally, I don't want each annexure to restart at 1. So for my students, I just want all of your annexures. So all the addendums to start new numbers. But they don't have to, so all the appendices, that's what annexures mean. All the appendices for my students needs to just start with new numbers, but then they can all have the same number. So they can start with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, whatever. But they don't have to each one start with 1 again, like in 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, because that's actually what it sounds like there. So please double check that with your teacher, because it depends on how he or she will mark how you need to do that. Okay. Now, the biggest thing is before you can start putting in page numbers is you have to check your page breaks and your section breaks. So make sure that you've got your show hide on and check the following. So on your cover page, there will be a page break. You might not see it like this one. The page break is actually hidden behind this. So there is actually a extra enter. Nobody's going to actually penalize you for that. But so you'll have a page break on your cover page, which needs to stay there. Just leave it right there. Then you are going to insert a page break after table of figures, because the introduction needs to start on a new page. So I'm just going to do that on the layout page. Okay. Then introduction, content, claims, findings, conclusion, none of that needs to have any page breaks in between. Okay, they can all just go from one page to the next, no page breaks. And then after the bibliography and that hyperlink, you'll have the first and the only section break that you need. Okay, so that will be the type of section break you need is a next page section break. That has to be the very first one there is. Okay, now, if your teacher said they do want you to restart each addendum with a new number, then you need to change this page break to a next page section break. The one after source 3, you need to change to a next page section break as well then. Okay, but since my students doesn't need to do that, I'm going to keep it as is now, because I think that's just too many different page breaks or too many different page numbers in one document. Okay, so now what we're going to do to double check this, I'm going to zoom out. If you don't see more than one page when you zoom out, go to view and change it to multiple pages. Okay, and then go into any header or footer, right click, edit footer, and then check that this is what your sections look like. So you will have one section at the start, and your cover page will be the first page. So you'll have a different first page for section 1 automatically. You didn't even have to do that. That has just happened automatically when you inserted a cover page. Okay. So you'll see while you're clicked in section 1, the different first page is actually selected already. We go down, you'll see after the place where you've got a section break, it'll say section 2. Now here's the trick. In section 2, we actually don't need a different first page because we don't have a cover page again. Okay, we want the page numbers to start from the first page of section 2. It's not the same as the cover page where we don't want numbers on that page. So for section 2, I'm going to remove the option of different first page. Do you see? Okay. So for my students, you're just going to have 2 sections, section 1 and section 2, and check that you don't have any more than that. Now, remember, if you want to have page numbers that are different styles, and they start in a new way, anything like that, then your section 2 can't be linked to your section 1. Remember? Now, section 2 is still linked to section 1. Do you see? It says same as previous. So this same as previous, we can get away by clicking on link to previous to take that away. So while we're in section 2, we can remove the link to previous. And now we can edit section 1 and section 2 independently of one another. So for section 1, you can then insert a page number that you like. Okay, I'll do something like this, and I'll say do it in the footer. Okay, and it starts at page 1 already because they're clever like that. To remove this extra enter, you're going to do a backspace. Okay, and then for section 2, you can insert a page number that's similar to that. Doesn't really matter. Okay. Also remove the extra enter. And if you want, you'll see this one starts at 0 now. It shouldn't start at 0. It should start at 1 again, hey? So to fix that, the reason it starts at 0 is because there was a different first page. So to start it at 1, and if you want to make it ABC rather, or change it to Roman numericals or something like that, you can go to page numbers, format page numbers, and here you can say start at 1, and if you want, you can change it to a different format if you'd like. Okay, and that's how you insert your page numbers. These 2 enters are fine. This one is just in the footer anyway, and this is because there's a little shape in there. Now that we've got that, we can go to the second page where we've got our table of contents, and we're going to insert a table of contents and a table of figures. So I'm actually going to just replace the whole heading, table of contents. I'm going to remove that. And I'm going to go to references, table of contents, and I'll choose either table 1, table 2, or table 3, whichever one you like. I think, no, this one is not going to work. You have to use number 1 or number 2. So I'm going to use number 2 so that it actually says table of contents. Nice, there you go. And then for my table of figures, press 1 enter. Then I'm going to insert a table of figures. Now this one is a bit trickier because if I insert it like this, it will only show my figures, which are my graphs that I've inserted a figure for. So if you wanted to show your tables and your figures, you can actually go change your options over here and say that you want to build your table of figures from a style rather than from a specific caption label. So instead of using it from figures and from tables specifically, you can build it using the caption style. And that way, it will put in figures and tables all together. Now remember to take out these extra enters. I know you can remove that one. I don't think that one is removable. No, that one has to stay there. You can't take that one away. So that one can stay there. All right. There you go. I think that's it. There we go. We're done with the report.